Clement can't win against the Green Brigade, and we didn't even have Lundstrom to blame for giving the game away this time. It's hard to defend Clement after this embarrassment. Let's see if these new signings pay off and show some improvement over time. Anyway, here are the latest updates from our Rangers. Steven Gerrard sends a two-word message after the Rangers transfer is finalized. Rangers surprise amid James Tavernier transfer developments as a deadline day exit claim is made. Rangers fail to sell an expensive ace who can't handle physicality amid transfer interest. Philippe Clement drops a new Ianis Hagi update after transfer developments at Rangers. Russell Martin blames Rangers as he blasts the Ibrox Giants for the Sam Adeyemi transfer fail. Go ahead and comment, "We are the people," and let's dive into the news. Steven Gerrard, the man who once led us to glory, has sent a little message to Scott Wright after the lad sealed his move to Birmingham City on deadline day. The deal was reportedly worth £300,000. Honestly, not a bad bit of business. Wright, who's been with us for 3 years, took to Instagram to say his goodbyes to the Gers faithful. And who pops up in the comments? None other than Stevie G himself, with a simple but solid, "Good luck." Short and sweet, just like we'd expect from the gaffer. Now I know some of us might have been surprised by Wright's departure, especially after he got some starts under Philippe Clement this season. But hey, football moves fast. On deadline day, the deal was done, and we've brought in Nadim Bajrami to fill that spot. And here's the kicker. Wright's already making waves at Birmingham, banging in a last-gasp winner against Wigan Athletic. Talk about making an entrance. Seems like he's already becoming a bit of a hero down there, which is great to see. But let's be real. For £300,000 and a new signing in the bag, it feels like a smart move all around. We wish him well, but it's onwards and upwards for us. Here's to seeing what Bajrami can bring to the table. Well, who would have thought? James Tavernier, the man we all assumed was packing his bags for a swanky new life in Turkey, is still hanging around Ibrox as the transfer window slams shut. Now, I'm not saying we didn't all have a little bet on whether he'd be off to Trabzonspor by now, but here we are with Tav still donning the captain's armband. Our favorite captain was all but set to jet off to sunny Turkey, with Trabzonspor practically rolling out the red carpet for him. They even threw a bit more cash into the pot after their first offer got the cold shoulder. But, as the days ticked by, it seems Philippe Clement decided he wasn't quite ready to part with one of his key leaders, especially with the way things are shaping up this season. Now, Derek Ferguson reckons he's as surprised as the rest of us that Tav's still here, but he's got a theory. He thinks Clements had a good look at his squad and realized he needs to keep hold of his captain, even if Tav's form has been a bit, well, let's just say it's not exactly been vintage Tavernier lately. There was all that chatter about Saudi interest too, because who isn't getting linked with Saudi clubs these days? But nothing concrete seems to have materialized. So here we are, with Tavernier set to stay put, at least for now. Clement's been going on about needing leaders, and it looks like he's decided that Tav is still one of his main men, despite everything. In the end, it seems like the window just wasn't right for moving Tav on, especially with the squad still feeling a bit light. Letting go of your captain when you're already struggling to bring in reinforcements? Probably not the wisest move. And if Trabzonspor didn't cough up the cash Rangers were looking for, then the deal was always a non-starter. So, it looks like James Tavernier's staying put, ready to add a few more goals to that impressive tally of his, and maybe, just maybe, help guide the team to glory one more time. Philippe Clement, our gaffer, has finally given us the latest on Hagi after all the transfer window drama. Now, if you've been following along, you know that Hagi's been kicking about with the B team, even though he's made it clear, loud and clear on Instagram, that he's never asked to leave Glasgow. Respect to him for that. But with the transfer window now closed, you might be thinking, is Hagi finally getting his chance back in the first team? Well, not so fast. Clement's got other plans, and they don't seem to include Hagi in the main squad, at least for now. He's been straight up honest, saying there's no way he sees Hagi becoming Rangers' go-to number 10 in the next couple of years. Ouch, right? Clement even mentioned that with Bajrami now in the building, it only makes the situation tougher for Hagi. So what's next for the lad? Well, it's a bit of a mystery. There's still a chance he could pack his bags and head off to another European club or even the Middle East where the transfer windows are still open. But if he's determined to stay in Scotland, he might be stuck playing in the B team until January rolls around. Now I know what you're thinking. This isn't exactly the fairy tale ending we were hoping for, but in football anything can change in the blink of an eye. So, let's not write off Hagi's story at Rangers just yet. Who knows, he might just find a way back into the mix when we least expect it. Rangers tried to pull off a last-minute deal for Southampton winger Sam Adeyemi. The lad was keen to join us, but Southampton? Well, they were playing hardball. They wanted us to cough up a cool £1 million just for the loan fee, and then top that off with paying Adeyemi's £30,000 a week wages. Bit steep, right? Russell Martin, Southampton's gaffer, wasn't too pleased when the deal fell through. He reckons it was Rangers who let it slip, saying it left poor Sam with no time to find another club. Gutted for Sam, he says. But we all know it's just as much about the cash as it is about the timing. Now, don't get me wrong, Adeyemi would have been a decent addition. But Philippe Clement and the lads weren't about to be held to ransom. Especially not after splashing out over £3 million on Nadim Badrami and sorting out a season-long loan for Narecio Casanwarjo. And let's not forget, we did some decent business ourselves. Scott Wright and Todd Cantwell moved on, bringing in around £800,000 between them. Not a fortune, but every bit helps when you're balancing the books. So, while Adeyemi's deal didn't happen, it's not all doom and gloom. We've got Badrami, who should add a bit of spark, and we didn't cripple ourselves financially just to get one more player in the door. Smart, if you ask me. So Ridvan Yilmaz, remember when we were all buzzing about his arrival? Well, it turns out the excitement has fizzled out quicker than a soggy pie on a rainy day at Rangers. Derek Ferguson's not holding back, and he reckons Rangers have missed a trick by not selling the lad when they had the chance. Yilmaz, the 23-year-old fullback, was linked with a return to Turkey, with big names like Galatasaray and Besiktas sniffing around. But, as fate would have it, nothing materialized. And just when it looked like he might finally get a run of games, boom, another injury. He's now sidelined for weeks, and Ferguson's convinced this is just more proof that Yilmaz isn't cut out for the rough and tumble of Scottish football. Derek didn't mince his words, saying, "He ain't robust enough for this league." Ouch. The man's not wrong, though. Yilmaz hasn't played many full 90 minutes since he arrived, and every time he seems to get going, he ends up back in the treatment room. It's frustrating, to say the least. Ferguson also pointed out that the manager, Philippe Clement, tried to give Yilmaz a fair crack in pre-season, hoping to toughen him up. But here we are again, another injury, and now we're stuck with a player on hefty wages, somewhere between £4 and £5 million, who we can't seem to shift. Jeffday's arrival has given us some cover, but let's be honest, Yilmaz's time at Rangers is looking more and more like a failed experiment. Injuries have plagued his career here, and while there was interest from Turkey, it never turned into anything concrete. So what now? We're left with a player who, despite his potential, can't seem to stay fit long enough to make an impact. The January window might be our next shot at moving him on, but until then, we're stuck with him on the books. It's a tough one, but that's football. Sometimes you roll the dice and it just doesn't go your way. I'll be back with more bombastic and exclusive Rangers news at any moment. If you don't want to miss any, just hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, all right? We are the people.